Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I am Mike and I'm joined by Miguel. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Mikey? You're a little ass kid. I'm in the end zone. Or whatever the quote Saquon said.
He called him something like that, like little ass kid, and he ran all those Giants on the Sunday.
Yes,
it was great to see. 177 yards, 176 yards rushing, a total of like 187 combined with touchdown. And if you saw later on, he was mic'd up during that game, and he said that Sirianni walked over to him, asked him if he wanted to go back in to
break your record.
They break his record. He had like a 13 more yards, and he would break the record. He's like, no, let those young guys eat. So.
Yep.
Class act, Saquon Barkley. Class act.
Definitely is. Because you know what, man? He did what he came to do. He came to prove the Giants that he still had a lot in the tank.
Yep.
And it was a mistake. Even though he kind of like was humble all week, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel until game day, until, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And clearly, he was mic'd up. You can see the emotion that he left on the field. He showed a lot of anger to his former Giant teammates.
He did.
And especially because him and Dexter Lawrence are pretty tight. So he was the one that he was saying, you're a little ass boy and I'm in the end zone. You know what I mean? So he was the guy that he was talking to in that moment.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They were smart to have him mic'd up for this game because there was going to be words said, and they knew it was going to be a good game. 100%.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts on that? On this, it was definitely a lot of the talk this week is about are the Eagles playing this well because of their opponents, because their defense hasn't let up a touchdown in 2 games, and granted they were playing the Browns and Giants.
Mm-hmm.
What were your, we had our thoughts during the game. What's your final thoughts after seeing it within a couple days?
I mean, I'm still not impressed. I'm still not in a comfort zone with this team. It's a bad Giants team that we played against, and I just seen too much from Jalen. I was screaming at the screen at times because it was like he was looking downfield and running away from the pressure at the same time. He had the check down open. He had what's it, the 83 from the Washington
Dotson.
He had Dotson open at least twice that he completely missed. He had Barkley in the flat at one point. He was wide open, took a sack. It's just those little things that piss me off about how they're playing. If Jalen would have, okay, I give him credit. He took care of the ball. He didn't force anything.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fumble the ball. He didn't have a turnover, right?
Yeah.
But it's just things like that end the drive that frustrate me, because you had the check down. You could have extended the drive, and you chose to take the sack or whatever the case may have been in that moment. So it's just, I'm glad to see that the defense got on the same page, but again, you look at the other side, and it's like a hurt offensive line for the Giants. It wasn't, their best outing. Daniel Jones, unfortunately, he's not a good quarterback, as you can clearly see. And everything just fell in place for the defense. They were able to stop them. They weren't able to move the ball. So in that aspect, that's great. I'm comfortable with that, but I still want to see it against a high-powered offense, a team that's starting to click, like the team that's coming in this week.
I agree. And if the Giants were so bad, how come the Eagles still cannot score in the first quarter of a football game if the Giants were so bad?
And I also like to point out that although my predicted score was low, I got half right, 3 points.
Yeah,
so I got to give credit for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was the Giants are not a good. They're not. I don't know if they're worse. They might be worse than the Browns, to be honest with you.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. Like at least Deshaun Watson was a potential upside, whereas I think we saw what Daniel Jones' potential was about last year or the year before that,
before he got hurt.
before he got hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
I think
agree.
that's it. That's a ceiling. I don't think he'll ever be the quarterback that they expect him to be.
No, and honestly, was he really the quarterback that he was going to be? Like he threw. So he wasn't like this elite quarterback that they thought they got. He was a quarterback, the right quarterback at the right time for them at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, he was the quarterback that was available to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure they would have wanted to go another direction, but the other quarterbacks that they wanted were off the board at that point. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sucks for them. They'll have to spend this offseason looking for that quarterback, whether they draft one or
I don't know how they're going to do that. They have so much money wrapped up into him. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I mean, they have to find a way. I mean, I know by listening to New York Sports Talk Radio that the owner came out at some event saying that Dable's job is safe, the GM job is safe. So I'm figuring that they're either going to hold on to Jones as a backup and bring somebody else in here, or I don't know, or draft someone.
I don't know. Not our problem.
Nope, not our problem. Don't care. We have our own problem.
Like you were saying though, before we started, I was telling you I was watching Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold even, and Matthew Stafford was in the pocket. I don't know, it seemed like a long time. He kept looking all over the field, looking for an open receiver, and somebody got open, and he didn't like rush out of the pocket. He kind of altered his throwing motion and threw like a sidearm pass to a wide open guy in the middle. Yeah. I don't know why Jalen Hurts can't do that. I know he's not considered a pocket passer, but you can stand in the pocket and make time for yourself by moving. Like Peyton Manning, that's what he did. He moved the pocket. Tom Brady moved the pocket. So move the pocket to the left or right. Don't just automatically like escape from the pocket.
Yeah, no. Like I was saying, like he just shows impatience and being in that pocket and uncomfortableness in there. And I don't know if that has to do with Jason Kelce not being there anymore, or just the injuries to the line that doesn't feel the security of the lineman. But also, that's another thing that I saw. There was this one play where he ran off to the right, and the linemen were just standing there. They didn't even, go out and try to help block for Hurts. And Hurts could have got a couple yards, if he would have had, those two blockers move their feet and get in front of those tackles.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's just little things like that that concern me about this team.
I agree. And there's somebody, I think you sent it to me, that there's a question because of this whole lineman downfield that they keep calling is changed Jalen Hurts' RPO game.
Right.
Do you believe that's the case here?
I mean, it's funny how that little rule change has limit how this offense moves. Like, okay, I get it. We change offensive coordinators, therefore, hence you change your offensive approach.
Right.
But yet you still have the same head coach, and yet, I mean, maybe not every play is RPO, but it seems a majority of the plays are still a little bit of RPO. But all they do is just put a spy on Hurts now, and they kind of just knock that out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when was Dak Prescott doing any RPOs when Kellen Moore was his offensive coordinator?
Nope, not at all.
I didn't think so.
And I think I even made a comment in our post game where I said there was like 3 plays in a row that Hurts was under center that wasn't a tush push. Like,
yeah.
It was very concerning that these guys need to keep the defense on their heels, and you need to switch up from just a shotgun formation or a power eye or the pistol, because that's another thing that they've been lining up a lot in is the pistol.
Right.
And it just, I mean, you bring Kellen Moore in here for a creative offense, and I look at Andy Reid's offense. I don't know if you saw, there was one play last week where they had Patrick Mahomes Carson Wentz, and Jason Kelce in the backfield, all in the 3-point stance.
Yeah.
And it was
I did
like
see that.
a direct snap to somebody. I forget who it was. I think it was Carson.
It was Carson, and he handed it off to Kareem Hunt.
Right.
Or he could have also pitched it to Patrick Mahomes too, as well. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Mark. How's it going?
Hey,
thanks for joining.
I'm here. Saquon went off, not as well as I had thought, but I'm hoping everyone takes a little bit of, a little relief from the fact that I knew Saquon was going to do Saquon things. Yeah. All right.
He did.
I mean, you did say 153 touchdowns.
He hit the yardage.
You hit the yardage. You didn't hit. I didn't hit the touchdown. I parlayed that, my guy.
Hey,
it was a big parlay.
If Hurts saw the one, he definitely was at 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't be more open.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about. We're talking about his pocket presence. Like I was just watching it's Thursday Night Football, and Matthew Stafford hangs in the pocket, and he looks throughout his receivers. And I don't know if you saw any of this, what he was doing, but
I was busy.
He was you were busy. He wasn't escaping the pocket as quickly as Jalen Hurts does. And not only that, he wasn't doing that, he also, like, Matthew Stafford has 3 rookie offensive linemen in the field right there. And he was still not trying to run away from the collapsing pocket. He was just looking for his receivers. I'm concerned that Jalen Hurts is escaping it too quickly. And that's what we were just originally talking about.
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot with Hurts because I feel like I started off on him hard because I didn't like him out of college. And then he was doing pretty well. So I was like, all right, I have to apologize. I have to show support. I don't want to switch back so fast. I know last year we had a collapse, and this year has been kind of flat-footed. But I will say, I know people are like, hey, Kellen Moore did great with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't believe he did. And I know this year looks different because they look like trash down in Dallas. But a year without him, they did just fine. This year they're not, but their team's getting older. Like, he was there when they had the best O-line, one of the top running backs in the league, top receivers, and Dak didn't have to play hard to do well. Like, it's not hard to be good with a team that had, and you had one of the best defenses. Like, it was easy games for Dallas most of the time Kellen Moore was there. Now, I don't want to blame Hurts entirely, but again, it's one of those things where, like, come to the moment of the ball snapping, it is in your hands. It is your eyes, your mind, your thought. Now, containing the picks, good job. Some of the changes in plays, like, hey, look, AJ Brown ran a slant. Guess what? He's open. Even if he's not, he's open. Give him the ball. I will say, I initially was pissed on the touchdown pass to Brown. I saw Smith coming across. I'm like, look at the wide open play in front of you.
I think you're saying that because Devontae Smith only got 0.8 yards for your fantasy team.
I literally don't care about that at all. Like, it's fine. In tonight's fantasy, I've got, in one of my leagues, I've got Darnold and Jefferson popping off, and I've got another with Kieran Williams. I don't care. I was going to lose you anyway. Even if Smitty could have had a 20-point game, I still lost you. That doesn't matter. Yeah. No, I was saying it because honestly, during the play, I was like, he's open. Like,
he was open.
We talked about it last podcast. Slants, crossers, mesh, like easy, simple plays that get your guys open and with speed. Right. You look at some of the top things that Tyreek Hill does. Quick cross, quick mesh route, where it's a rub route with the tight end. The tight end kind of helps slow up that, corner, linebacker, that corner a half second, and no one's going to catch him. And he's right across the middle. The pass from Tua or whoever's playing quarterback next week is 4 or 5 yards, and then Tyreek takes it for 30. Devontae Smith is not slow. Get him on a 4 or 5 yard path. He's going to make it 16-20. Now, granted, AJ Brown made it a spectacular catch. It was a touchdown. Kudos to that play. Go Birds. But, there's a lot of times I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, what's the process here? And I get it. The play for us as fans, the plays in the pocket, they're fast. You don't see everything the same way. We see the bird's eye view. I get that it's, we see a different angle. I understand.
It's quick. They say it's a quick game. It's a quick game.
But it's like, my thought is, I've played granted, much lesser football, but I've played football. I normally would always know when I line up who's my go-to receiver. Because when I was playing like street football, so to speak, out in the fields, like non-league, I played a lot of quarterback. I had a decent arm. I always knew who the first guy I'm looking at is. And I would hike the ball. And my first thing to do would actually be look at my second look to kind of like lead off anyone. That's probably not your best skill set. I don't know. But I would first thing I do is look at the closest guy, then look at the guy I want to go to, and then come back to my left side. Like it was instinctual, just like boom. I just I just watch all my receivers. I know which one I'm going to.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what Matthew Stafford was doing, and that's
what
Sam Darnold was doing.
Exactly. But I watch Hurts. He comes up and it's just like, no, okay. And just I'm going to tuck it, or I'm going to sit here and take the hit. And it's like, who's over here?
That's what I was saying before you came on. It was like he had the check down a couple times, and he just
didn't take it.
He
will not take it.
No.
It's almost like he's trying to make up for everything by he's always looking for the big play. Like it feels right now that he's like, we messed up so much before. I need to do the big plays. I need to show them that I'm still that guy. And it's like, no, you don't.
There's so many weapons on this team. He is the only one at this point that can hold the team back right now.
Well, here's something for you. I know I'll get some flack for it. I'm biased. I get it. Last weekend, my lovely Oregon Ducks took it to the house against Ohio State. There's a lot of kerfuffle. I got last week, the week before, whatever. A lot of kerfuffle about the strategy and all that. But Ohio State's defense was number one in the league. They were allowing 6 points a game. People weren't getting over 100 yards on them. We put up 380 yards because our quarterback very intelligently would make those plays. Where is the check down? Give me 3-4 yards every single play. I'm going to beat you. And that's what happened. That's what a lot of teams, when they play teams, like in college particularly, when you're playing a juggernaut like Ohio State, like Alabama, like, Clemson or Georgia, your thought process is, I need that big play. I need to score. No, you don't. It's the body blows. You go up against this champion of a team who's so good at everything, they're going to stop all those. Maybe they let up one deep pass from time to time, and they did. Oregon put a few deep balls on them. But the reason we got the deep balls on them is we just kept hitting them, nickels and dimes, constantly. I'm going to get 3 yards. I'm going to get 4 yards. I'm going to get 4 yards. And suddenly they're like, bro, I'm sick of this. You're just marching down the field on us. Our defense is getting tired of coming up and I'm hitting you. And our guy's wide open deep. Touchdown.
Well, that touchdown pass A.J. Brown was a 4th and 3. And it wasn't like a wide open pass. It was like I dropped it in a basket and he caught it.
A perfect pass. I'll give Hurts credit. That was absolutely phenomenal.
But that's not your best call there, though.
Well,
that's not the best call.
We shouldn't be in those. We shouldn't get ourselves in those spots. There's so many plays that are open leading up to that play should never become one that's like, oh, that's available. Right. I feel like we should have won by another 20 points.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the people are saying that on the radios is that the Eagles are playing well because of the opponents that they're playing. The Browns are not a good team. The Giants that we can see they're not good. What I can say, and this is going to be my word for the day, is that it was an improvement. It was an improvement in the fact that they ran the ball efficiently. They ran the ball efficiently, and they ran the ball, whereas it set up a pass play for the Eagles. Now, sometimes those pass plays weren't, I don't know if they weren't available. It's just that they weren't, Jalen Hurts didn't let them proceed in enough time for
develop.
Develop, yes, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
He didn't develop. He didn't let them develop quick enough for him to let them happen. I think, and it's not because of the line, because Fred Johnson is doing a good job.
Yes and no. I feel like maybe there might be a little bit of hesitation there, knowing that these aren't your top guys. Knowing my left tackle's not saying you're sitting there as a quarterback with that back turned. You got Jordan Mailata behind you. You feel safe. You don't have Jordan Mailata behind you. You're like, all right, I know he's good, but how good is he? If Dexter Lawrence does a stunt coming outside, is he going to pick that up? I know Thibodeau wasn't playing, but if Thibodeau's playing, do you trust your backup to stop Thibodeau getting through you? I doubt it.
No.
you know? So I feel like he had those moments of like, I don't trust what's around me.
But I feel he's been playing that way from the beginning. Like even when we had the full healthy line, like he was still being very impatient and very quick to either take off and run or try to force it into AJ's hands or Devontae's hands. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
yeah. Well, I think it's just a whole new setup, you know, without not having Kelce. I think, you know, not only do you have the added pressure of having to develop that relationship with the new center, and we've noticed that be a fault quite a few times already, but you're adding all the pressure of him having to do all these checks, all the calls, all the blitz packages. So you're tripling the pressure because it compounds.
Have you noticed at all, Miguel and Mark, that he's changing the play at all at the line?
He's not adjusting. It's very seldom that I've seen him audible.
I think I've seen him do a few kills. Nothing like crazy audible, but like
I want
there's
to
take a call.
I want to take account. You and I, all three of us, just look and see how many times he audibles out of the play. Because if he doesn't audible out of play, no way Kellen Moore is calling the exact plays that are going to go against the defenses that are going to be given to him. That's like not possible. That's not possible.
True.
So how many? What's a normal amount of audibles for a quarterback? It just ballpark. I don't even know. I'm going to look it up later.
It depends. Are you Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning will call. I think they would call like 2 or 3 plays in the huddle, right? And they would say he would come to the line, look what the defense is giving you, say whatever the name of the second play was or third play, Omaha, and hike. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's all on the quarterback and what they see and how he adjusts. And it just, to me, just it doesn't seem, he just goes with what's called. And yeah, he makes the little line check for, you know, the mic, you know, that's coming in on the blitz. Half the time it's kind of wrong because the blitz is coming from the other side. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is crazy that we're talking like this. But Miguel, remember, I guess 2 years ago, we were talking about, it was the Super Bowl year, 2022. We were talking about what Jalen Hurts was going to be like for this team, what he needed to improve on, right?
Right.
Then last year we said, "Oh wow, like he improved so much. This is the quarterback that we have for
the season was amazing,
right?" And now we're talking about we're questioning him. This is 3 different times we are questioning, or I guess zeroing in on our quarterback.
Right.
What is the deal with that? What is going on?
I wish I had an answer. I mean, okay, so what was it? The year that
2020,
we went to the Super Bowl, he hurt his shoulder, right? In Chicago.
Remember
when he hurt his shoulder in Chicago? So
yes.
He stopped running. He kind of stopped running after that. Right. So now he was trusting the line.
Right.
Then he hurt his leg. I forget which game that was. Then that also stopped him from running.
New England. The first game of the season, he got hurt against New England. Nobody ever said anything, but
he kept it on the low. But
that's when we think he got hurt.
So could it be that's what it is? Like he's afraid of being injured. Like he wants to be that quarterback that is a consistent person on the field? Is he like trying to be an available, you know, Iron Man? But I'd rather you go take risk and get, and God forbid, I don't want anybody on our team to get hurt, but I'd rather for you to take risk and actually, you know, make a play than be scared to make a play. You know,
this is a question that arose when I talked to you earlier, is that Tua is going to play this week, and they asked him if he was going to wear a Guardian cap, which is more than enough to help him, you know, save his head. And he said no, because it's personal reasons. Well, isn't it a personal reason to make sure your skull is okay when you're playing football?
I'll be honest, I can't understand I don't see how the Guardian helps that much. I get it in practice because they're not going full force, so the bumps and hits are just that little extra padding.
Yeah.
But when you're getting slammed down from behind, that extra pad ain't do jack, bro.
He'd be the first quarterback to wear it.
I think the Guardian cap is more for the linemen who hit their heads more.
Yeah, that because like that contact's quick and it's right here.
Right, because that last concussion, he took off on a run and he ran into the chest of the defender and his neck bent back, which is why he got the concussion. So a
Yeah.
biting cap is not really gonna
It's not going to stop that.
stop that. You know
But
what I mean?
but his reason, it's a personal issue, like a personal reason. That I don't think that would.
Because he's
that-
not gonna look cool, Mike. You know you gotta look cool at quarterback, bro. You know what I
I
mean,
don't know, man. All I know is that I also wonder if the injuries that like players like Tua have suffered play a role on other mobile quarterbacks for that reason, that thought of like, I don't want that to happen. Like, yeah, obviously I don't want a leg damage, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're scrambling and like the thought is, I don't know who's behind me. How many times do you see a quarterback move and like they don't know there's someone right behind them, they get slammed down?
Yeah.
We've watched that so many times, and it's like you kind of wonder if sometimes that's in the back of the mind, like, I don't want my life like that.
There has been a lot of injuries this year. There has been an obscene amount.
yeah.
We saw Samuel and
Godwin's foot the other day. The Tampa game.
they did not want to re-show that clip.
Aiden Hutchinson, they didn't want to watch. They cut that from the film.
Aiden Hutchinson,
Brandon Ayuk.
Oh
yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Marvin Harrison,
Machine Rice.
That exact play that happened to Ayuk is kind of what happened to me when I was playing football in the youth league.
Yeah,
that
was
Rashid Shaheed, Marvin Harrison, his injury of just being absent, of just
Achilles.
He's being absent.
Bro, how do you have 2 games in a year without a catch as a starter?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Like, bro, Devontae has that, but he was out injured.
Yeah.
Like, even last week, Devontae, it might have been for negative yardage, but he had a catch.
Yeah.
He did. So like I said, my word was improvement because of what they did on the ground.
Yeah.
Miguel, give your word.
Unimpressed.
Unimpressed.
I like it.
Unimpressed.
I have a hyphenated word for you this week. All right. It's there's a hyphen or 2 in there. It's one word though. Okay. It's run the ball, run the league. One word hyphen.
That's another thing that I saw this week is that I think Elliot Shore Parks asked.
I wasn't gonna say a thing.
Yeah, I had to correct myself there.
And I'm the one that's drinking the margaritas today.
Got a mimosa.
They asked Sirianni, "What do you think this identity of this team is? Is it a run first team?" And he kind of like he doesn't want to accept that it's a run first team.
No,
boys, we ran the ball 45 times.
Yes,
and you know what we did?
We won the game.
We won the game, boys.
You win the game if you have the ball running and the clock is running. And
I got a question for you. Did any of you guys watch the Baltimore game the other day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lamar threw how many touchdowns?
5.
Phenomenal playing. Who did they interview at the end of the game?
King Henry.
Why?
Because he's an explosive player.
And because if you run the ball,
you win the game.
You win the game.
But look, he threw 5 touchdowns, and it was still kind of close at the end there.
It was insane.
I mean, it was close with backups in.
Yeah.
But think about it though. If you're a defense and you're going up against a team, and that Lamar is the shiftiest, fastest quarterback in the league, and now they have King Henry, who's the hardest bruising running back currently in the game.
Yeah.
You're lining up 8 in the box, like every damn down.
Yeah.
You have to. And what does that do? It allows Lamar to pick you apart in the air because you run the ball.
I'm not looking forward to that game against the Ravens and the Eagles.
Yeah, no.
Did we chalk that up as a loss?
We did, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't even want to watch that game.
Just don't even start those players.
The slaughterhouse.
I don't know. You know what? Actually, it makes me wonder. How do our young stud D linemen do against King Henry? That I want to see.
It should be interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to get nervous until we start playing. You saw what the Rams did tonight to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I expected the Vikings to destroy them.
Vikings are official frauds. They're official frauds, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Okay, so moving right along.
Didn't they lose their running back earlier?
Who?
Vikings. Did they lose a running back 2 games ago?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Addis, what's his name?
No,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, right. They just stopped running the ball, I guess, because I haven't heard about him at all. So
Exactly. Yeah.
weird how that affects teams, man.
I'm telling you, it's not like we haven't been preaching this for years. All right. So Cincinnati Bengals, Eagles, Bengals Sunday. It's been flexed from 4 to 1.
It's a whiteout game for the Bengals.
The Eagles. It's a whiteout game.
Oh,
So that should be fun. I'm calling this game a prove it game. The Eagles have to prove that the past 2 games were just them playing terrible teams. They have to prove to me that beating the Giants and beating the Browns, pretty much not letting up a touchdown against those teams wasn't a fluke, and that they can
I
beat
just want
these
to
Cincinnati Bengals.
Before we go any further, I just want to shoot out there real quick. I'm just looking at stats real quick. You know what team's been really, really good the past couple weeks? The Lions.
Yeah.
I'm 4 games back. Not in one of those games have they thrown the ball more than they've run it.
Yeah. Well, they've got 2 good running backs too. Montgomery and Gibbs.
Yeah, but especially you got the lead. You're not really throwing the ball.
Like Goff has 23 passes. Montgomery's got 23 carries. Gibbs has 16 carries. All in one. Like
it's
every game,
a balanced attack.
It's almost run heavy though, and they're destroying teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, also helps with Goff doesn't turn the ball over.
Correct.
Right.
Well, hold on. Did we not turn the ball over this past week?
Yeah, the week before. 2 weeks in a row.
So we ran the ball 45 times.
Yeah.
Won the game and didn't turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's weird how the recipe works, guys.
The recipe works.
I can't
get
over the recipe.
You're preaching
I
to
know,
the choir.
Let's not forget though, we are still one of the. I mean, we have a winning schedule despite having a -6 in turnovers.
Uh-huh.
If the playoffs started today, we're not in it.
Excuse me?
No.
If the playoffs started today, we're not in it.
Definitely not.
No, like I looked at it. It's every team from the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Commanders. It's
Seahawks.
Seahawks and some other joke team. I can't remember.
The Falcons or
Falcons.
Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks
so it's just the NFC North and a bunch of jokers.
Yeah.
But us and the Niners, the Cowboys, all non-existent.
Yeah, Red Cowboys and Cowboys play this week.
I guess somebody has to win, huh?
It's gonna be interesting.
3-3 draw.
Well, talk about draws. The Eagles passed. I think the past 4 times they've played the Bengals, they've tied twice.
Wow. Oh, I remember that. That was the McNabb one where he forgot there was no.
That was one of them. That was one of them.
Overtime or something.
The last time they played, it was a 23-23 tie.
Oh wow! When was that?
That was 3 or 4 years ago.
It was like Burrow's rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Really?
It was 23-23 tie. I think this is a well matched teams. The Bengals, they have really good wide receivers. Joe Burrow is having a really good year, right?
And the Bengals defense is the 22nd in the league, and ours is the 9th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is a desperate team. They need this win.
So do we.
They went toe to toe, literally toe to toe with the Ravens, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went toe to toe with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Those were very close games.
I want to know how good are the Chiefs? They don't look good.
I mean,
they don't look good.
They look.
How good will they look now with DeAndre Hopkins on their team?
I don't think DeAndre's gonna make that much of a difference, man. That man feels washed.
He's gonna garner some sort of.
He might open up Kelce a little bit more.
He's gonna open up Kelce. You're gonna open up Worthy because there's really nobody else to throw the ball to.
I know, dude. They don't look good. Their defense looks great. Andy Reid has a defense on him right now, and I think that's literally carrying that team.
There's 2 teams that are being carried by their defense. The Chiefs is one, and the other one is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, their defense is rock solid.
The Pittsburgh Steelers is disgustingly good.
A little pitch out. I know it might be biased because of fantasy. Chicago's defense is underrated right now. How many weeks in a row have they had a pick?
Yeah,
it's unreal.
They're going to be good. We're going to see how well their defense goes against Mariota and the Redskins this week.
I'll tell you what, if you can change Caleb Williams for Jaden Daniels, or better yet, keep Justin Fields and give him Malik Neighbors with the defense they have, I think Chicago's undefeated.
Well, they really haven't played that many too. They haven't played that.
I understand, but I'm saying, but like their defense is good enough. If they had a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, or I still think Justin Fields is better than what's his face, Caleb Williams. I think they're undefeated right now.
Well, Jaden Daniels isn't even going to play this week.
I know Mariota is.
Your boy
and he played really good last week. Props to Mariota.
Yeah.
Back to Eagles football.
Yeah, all right. It's all relevant. Mariota's a former Eagle,
Exactly. He's a former Duck,
and it's also the Commanders are the reason why the Eagles got flexed out of the Jacksonville game, because they want Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels going against each other in Sunday Night Football.
Respect, because they should be. They should be that America's Game of the Week.
But
that's like an unannounced rivalry.
You're upset your Jaguars not being able to watch them prime time, Miguel.
Yeah,
but that's
not really my
built to be a nice unannounced rivalry. That could be nice for those two.
It could be good. It could be good.
That'll be a good look. But I'm just looking here at FanDuel, and the Eagles are actually the underdogs this week.
They are 2-point underdog.
Oh
yeah.
I'm putting money on the Eagles, boy. $1,000.
$1,000. Good for you.
I was just talking about my brother.
Venezuelan dollars. Venezuelan dollars.
Okay. Thailand dollars. I got it.
Speaking of prayers up to Fernando Venezuela. He just passed away a couple days ago.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh, true.
Prayers up.
So like I was saying, these teams are pretty matched up. Bengals, Eagles. They have quarterbacks good. We're going to also have battle of brothers. Chase Brown and Sidney Brown. They're going to be going up against each other. They're twins. Who's Chase Brown is their running back. So that's going to be. He's been having a good season too. So that should be interesting storyline right there.
I'm sorry.
What?
It's over 4 million Venezuelan bolivar to the U.S. dollar right now.
Oh wow!
There you go.
I'll make a 4 million bolivar bet.
There you go.
Goodness gracious!
You can just go to Thailand and bet 1,000. You'd be good.
I thought our inflation was bad. God.
The Bengals tight end Mike Gus, I guess his name is Gosecki.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's better than Grant Calcaterra right now. The offense. The Eagles haven't really put up they haven't put up any first quarter points.
Nope.
Especially against the Giants, who are a terrible team. Wow. So I don't know.
Wow.
So checklist this game. What do we need to check off in this game for it to be successful? Mark, go.
I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I'm beating the horse. The horse died. I took its bones and started beating another horse. All right. That's how long I've been doing this. And it's like I know our podcast is only a few years old. I swear I've been saying it since the day I was fucking born, bro. Run the ball. I ever tell you I coached flag football for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things I got away from was the run. I had the best quarterback in the league. We lost so many games. I had the best quarterback, probably two of the best receivers. We lost so many games because we didn't run the ball. And I finally started running the ball. Because I figured it's flag football. Like, you run the ball, you're not going anywhere. No, we dominated when we ran the ball. Run the ball. Like, the
flags are hard,
defense is not great. They're really not 22nd in the league. They're not good, boys. The biggest thing is, can we cover Jamar Chase?
Yep.
Can we sack fancy pants boy Burrow and run the ball? That's like the three keys to the game. Run the ball, sack Burrow / cover Chase, and run the ball. You got three keys. That's it.
So they do those three keys. What's your score? With those three
keys?
It? Yes.
24-16.
24-16 Birds.
Yeah, all day.
Miguel?
I need to see the defense continue to be dominant. I need to see those defensive pass rushers actually get sacks against a decent line. I need to see Jalen be more consistent in going to his check down and being more comfortable in the pocket. And like Mark said, run the ball. Run the ball.
Okay, so if they check off all your keys, what's your score?
See, I have two different answers. So I feel if they did those keys,
Yes.
they should win the game. I'd say what 31 10.
31-10.
I love it.
But I just
But
have a feeling like this game is going to be like a 16-10 game.
but who wins that game? A 16-10 game.
That's a good question.
He ain't give me that.
As much as I don't want to say the Bengals, I mean, this team really hasn't given me the confidence to completely predict that they will win in every time, every week that we talk.
I agree.
True. I will say one thing I want to like just kind of remind everyone that I pulled out from last week when I announced the ridiculous
you
score.
pull out sometimes.
Not often. When I called out that ridiculous score, I got laughed at. I know I did. I get
You
it.
did. Somebody on Instagram was saying you're nuts.
Yeah,
Just
but
nuts.
how good did our defense do?
Yeah.
My point
Defense
was,
well.
how many points did I say they were going to score? 10? And everyone's like, bro, they're not scoring 10. They're scoring more. Malik Neighbor's going to do it. They had like 40 offensive yards and 3 points.
Well,
Get out of here.
I got it half right. I got the 3 points right. I said 10-3. So
Yeah.
You did.
you beat that.
I think I said 40-3.
Yeah.
Or I said 48-10 or something like that. We got like 20. We're there. We're on our way.
What did you say? Mark, you said 31-17. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. That was
no, you
not
said
I said something in the 40s.
48-7. You said
Yeah,
48-7.
And hey, I gave them more credit than I should have on their offense.
Yeah,
Daniel
you
Jones
did.
hates our defense, which I said, if our defensive line can do what they got to do and make Joe Burrow that uncomfortable, we'll do just fine. Our D-line, when they hit home, when the young guns get their motors going, no quarterback in the league is having a good day. This is how it's going to be, but they got to get there.
So, Miguel, is your 16-10 your official or your 31-10 official?
Oh, you're putting me under the gun here, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to be nice for him. It's 16-10.
Yeah. I think I'm going to lean that way.
16-10 Birds?
Bengals.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. I think Miguel's going to end the season with a better record than me this year.
Yeah, Miguel, I'm actually, I don't know if the Eagles can win this game. I also don't know if the Bengals can win this game.
Right.
And knowing I was telling you earlier, I was watching the Wing It podcast, and two of the guys from the podcast are going to be going to that game, and they've gone there twice before, and the Eagles lost the 2 times they've gone. So I'm going to, I don't know, can I guess a tie? Is that possible? Can I guess a tie? Now I'm going to go with Eagles 17. Eagles 17 and the Bengals 16.
Oh, wow. 1 point win.
1 point. 17-16. Birds win this one.
What score did I give you?
You gave me 24-16.
All right. Okay, I'll stick with it for now.
Yeah, I think that the Eagles are going to prove to me that they are the team.
Mhm.
But I'm going to go on record that if they do not prove it to me, I will not be guessing an Eagles win for the rest of the year.
The rest of the year?
For the rest of the year.
We played Dallas twice.
They prove me wrong.
Hold on. You're going to choose Dallas twice?
I will choose Dallas twice if they do
man.
not
They're gonna
prove
be
me.
his favorite team.
Miguel, we have a new podcast. It's the Eagles that Squawk. We're not doing this with a Dallas fan, my guy.
Yeah, we can't do that.
He can go start his own podcast with whatever his name was, Nat, whatever. Yeah. You and Natty boys.
Pennsylvania Cowboys fans.
Yeah, you creepers.
All right. So before we exit this podcast, there's a lot of trade rumors coming out with a lot of teams. Myles Garrett is one. Max Crosby is another one.
I honestly
Cooper
think
Kupp-
I
Cooper
think
Kupp
Max
is one.
Crosby and Cooper Kupp both get traded. They both should be.
Well, the
I don't
Eagles
know.
have
The
been
Rams
in.
tonight. They're not gonna trade him.
I don't think they're going to trade Cooper Kupp now.
Cooper Kupp might not be. I think he still deserves to be because I think he should be on him. I don't think the Rams are as good as they look tonight, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Although I will say Kerry Williams looked really good. I think Max Crosby, as much as I hate his last name as a Flyers fan, I think he has always been a well-respected player. He's a phenomenal player. I think he deserves a chance to be on a team that has a chance to win. And Vegas is rebuilding. They have no chance in his career to win.
Yeah, he said he was no part of a rebuild.
Yeah, so he's got to go.
Mhm.
I'm just worried about where he goes.
Okay, so my question is, even if I know probably Crosby is available. Is Myles Garrett available? Is the question. Do the Eagles make a run for either one of those guys? And if they do, what are you willing to give up for them?
You go goes first.
Yeah, I'll go. I would rather go for Myles Garrett.
Okay.
I think he's a better locker room leader. He's more dominant on the field. As far as what I would give up, I think the Browns are cooked because Deshaun Watson is going to be out for a year and a half with that Achilles injury. They have no quarterback in sight. I think they're going to start Winston this weekend, right?
Yes, he is 100% starting.
So they're not really going to go nowhere because all he's going to do is be eating L's on the sideline. If you remember the W.
I very much do remember that.
I am hearing rumors that that this might be Goddard's last season as an Eagle because he's not going to be willing to resign to be the third, fourth option in an offense. So I'd give up Goddard and maybe a second and maybe Slay just to keep our secondary young.
You mean Darius?
Yeah, Darius.
He made some plays this week. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's playing phenomenal, but until I see, I want more. I still want more from Darius.
I'll make a point about our secondary real quick.
I want some interceptions is what I want.
I'll tell you what. Exactly. I think Quinyon Mitchell, once he gets one, is going to have multiple. He's so close. And I think he
just hit his hands and bounce right off.
Yeah.
And I think there's a confidence thing. I think the moment he gets one, you're going to see him just light up quarterbacks. I'm here for it.
I don't know if you listened to Vic Fangio's presser this week.
I don't listen to anything that man says.
Well, you can tell who he likes and who he puts up with.
Mm-hmm.
He talked like the sky was the limit for Quinyon Mitchell. He was like, he feels like he can't wait for him to get an interception. He's been waiting for it. He's so primed to do it. And then when they talk about Nolan Smith, he's like, yeah, he's finally like pushing the lineman out of the way. He's finally muscling up and stronging up. And it sounds like he's actually getting more positive towards Nolan Smith.
Thank you.
Bryce Huff. It's like he says like 4 words about Bryce Huff.
Who has anything to say about Bryce Huff? I forgot his name existed. You just said it.
Bryce Huff. He doesn't like Bryce Huff. Loves Zach Bond. The dude
Who doesn't.
Zach Bond can't do anything wrong. I think I lost my train of thought there.
Okay, we'll get it back.
What are some of your trade options, Mark? While I think about what I was talking about.
So I'm gonna go the opposite of Miguel here for devil's advocate purposes, and because Max Crosby, unbeknownst to me, I looked up, is actually younger than Myles Garrett, which throws me for a loop. I always thought Max Crosby was older. He's actually younger.
So too.
Crazy to me by a whole year, not much, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Myles Garrett has little off-field things he's had to deal with. I get it. It's fine, no worries. But I think both would be phenomenal. I would love to have Myles Garrett. But now I saw the age. I'm thinking to myself, I like Max Crosby. I've seen a lot about him. See a lot on social media. He definitely is a leader. Devontae Adams talks really high of him. The team seems to talk really high of him. A lot of players like against him talk really high of him. I feel like you bring him in for Bryce Huff for Darius Slay. No, but for real though, Max Crosby for Huff and maybe like a third or a fourth, I'm cool with because they are rebuilding. Huff is still young, so it incentivizes the trade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Slay is old. Both these teams are in a rebuild. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Nick Chubb leave the Browns in a year or so because that team's dead. They need to rebuild. They made the biggest mistake getting rid of Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has shown you give him a team, he knows what to do with it. He's actually a solid player. It took some time to mature, but he's doing it. He's respectable right now. The Browns aren't. Not the Vikings. The Raiders aren't. They're not teams you're going, oh man, that's. But Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, I would take either one of them. I would take for Crosby, like I said, Huff in a third. I will say I think Garrett is better, so I would say I'd be willing to part. I said a first, maybe more like a second. It's hard because the one thing I've realized growing up, like I always played Madden and college football, and always traded for picks. Always wanted the first round pick and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we see it every year. How many first round draft picks don't pan out?
Right.
I mean, we have how many first round picks on our team that aren't panning out?
I heard a stat out there, one of these sports talk radios, where they said in the first round, after the 16th pick, there's really not much of a difference from the rest of the first round and the second round pick.
Oh yeah. So like in that mindset, I'm like, all right, if we're a winning team, we're going to be in the back 16.
Right.
Would I rather have someone like Myles Garrett or even Max Crosby that I know is a stud? I know for a fact they are a superstar in the NFL when it comes to being a D lineman, DN. Look, if you list the top 5 DNs, I think both of them are in that list. I would take that for a first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what might happen. I mean, remember, Jalen Reagor was a first round pick. I will trade him for either of those two every day of the week.
Nobody knew Jalen Reagor was on a team until he fumbled a ball on Monday night against the Cardinals.
God,
he's still in the league. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
He's with the Chargers.
He's with the Chargers, and he fumbled. He caught a ball and he fumbled it out of bounds. Did he fumble it out of bounds? No, he turned it over.
No, it turned over.
And they lost the game because
Jalen Reagor can't do anything. I can't stand Jalen Reagor. He's literally hurting my soul. But you're telling me, like, you think about it. What do we pick him at? Like, I think 14th, something like that.
Yeah, before 16. Yeah,
definitely. So I want you to think right now. Would you give him up for Myles Garrett?
In a heartbeat.
Would you give him up for Max Crosby?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, do you expect that one of those two could help our defense to a point where we would be a winning team that makes playoffs?
Yes.
I give up a first round pick.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, at this point in time where the players and the positions that we have, giving up a first pick this year coming up is not a question.
Especially because our team is
it.
So young.
Exactly.
Like I said again, if you get rid of Slay and you get rid of BG, not get rid of them, but if you don't count those two players, our oldest player on the defense is 27. Yeah. Max Crosby is 27. Myles Garrett's 28. Neither one of them is out of the league in 2 years.
No.
I want to win, and we have the team to win.
Mm-hmm. I'd even trade 2 first picks. I would trade 2 first round picks for either one of those guys. I don't necessarily know if either one of those guys are good locker room guys.
I think Max Crosby. I think they probably both are, honestly.
I know Myles Garrett has had issues with taking his helmet off and trying to kill Mason Rudolph.
Okay, but that wasn't his team.
I mean,
his team's fine with him.
Right.
I mean, if he comes here and does it to Dak, are we really complaining about it?
No.
I don't think he's gonna do it to Dak. I think if anyone, it'll probably be Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. So I would love to see.
He might, but have Kenny Pickett.
How he makes the move. Kenny Pickett.
Him and Mason Rudolph. So I think
that's what they could do. Kenny Pickett and like a second round to
Kenny Pickett, a first and Slay. Get him out of here. I don't care.
I think this is going to be Slade's last year. Even though I think what do you do? Sign an extension? He can't. I think he's going out with a bang. So that's why he's playing the way he's playing. And I heard that he's actually helping Quinyon Mitchell. So that's a benefit too for us in the long run.
Yeah.
Better
than Bradbury.
Yeah, Bradbury actually could come back, I think, in a week or two.
I forgot he was even on the team.
Yeah, he can come back.
Why would he right now? Are you kidding me? Cooper looks good. Quinyon looks great.
Yeah.
I know we don't play him enough. I talk about it every podcast. Ringo still 100% tackle percentage. I love Ringo. Get him on the damn field.
Ricks was not on the roster the play last game. They kept him off. I was surprised by that.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so I just hope the Eagles do make Howie does make a trade to help this defense because I think they're going to need it down the long run. Any other things? Michael Parsons. That's the next year or two, right? He'll be an Eagle.
Imagine Max Crosby or Myles Garrett and Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons and Darius Slay can do a podcast together.
Yeah.
No, can we get rid of Slay? We have those. I want to take a second and just think if somehow the dominoes fell and your D line is Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, then I'm gonna say Max Crosby, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Michael Parsons. That's not fair. That's not fair.
That'd be kind of killer.
That feels like the NFL has to step in and go, sorry guys, you can't have that.
Right. Yeah.
That's when they go, all right. Clearly, Howie Roseman knows how to hypnotize people. We're banning him from the league for these trades.
If he could pull something off like that, that'd be kind of amazing. I hopefully they can. I think the Eagles do need to make some sort of defensive improvement before the trade deadline, which is November 3rd.
Yeah.
Only defensive movement? You don't think anything needs to be added on to the offense?
Oh, yeah, 100%. New offensive coordinator.
I don't think anything needs to be. No, I don't. I think they have great pieces on offense.
Hire me.
I think they're not utilizing Dotson at all. Is he like?
I talked about that with somebody the other day. I don't think people are saying that Dotson was a bust. Like the trade, they're doing trade comparisons. The Amari Cooper trade. But I'm like, all right, Amari Cooper is 6 years older than Dotson. What's his name? Was also 6-7 years older than Dotson. And we're not using him.
No, they're not.
Adams' career is over in a year or two. Amari Cooper's career over in a year or two. Dotson's got 6 to 8 years left, easy.
Yeah,
he's our third receiver, and we know Hurts barely looks at Smith if Brown's on the field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Goddard barely gets the ball. But you think about it, if you were a solid all-around quarterback, A.J. Brown is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Devontae Smith,
top five, 100%.
Yeah. Devontae Smith could easily be top 10. Goddard could be a top 5 tight end. And we don't get the ball to 2 of the 3 every game.
Yeah.
So how do you expect Dotson to do anything? He's had 3 passes thrown to him all year.
Yeah, I think they should use Dotson where, how Patrick Mahomes does those roundabouts with Xavier Worthy. They just need to do some roundabouts like that, just to get him involved. You don't. It doesn't have to be a pass. It just has to be some sort of involvement where he gets a quick handoff or something, turn him into a running back.
I can tell you right now.
Got to be involved.
You want to see a great play? I'll give you a great play right now. You line 3 wide, right, or two to the left. I don't know the pro left. It's 2 left, 1 on the right. AJ Brown on the right, Dotson on the left in the slot, Devontae Smith out wide. You run those 2 on a crosser. Everyone's person's going to focus on Brown because that's his route.
Yeah.
Dotson's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Or if somehow they cover him, that means the safety's not over top on Smith.
But guess who has to be able to see that and know that that's going to happen?
All right, give him some stilts or something. Come on.
And that's
a play for
Dotson. That's a concern. That's a concern that we're talking about earlier. Is that does Jalen Hurts have that? I think I talked about it. I was talking about somebody. Does Jalen Hurts have that logic, thought, and be able to decision make that quickly to be able to do those? That's the question I'm going to have with people.
It's almost like he has a yip sometimes,
right? Yeah. It's like Charles Barkley's golf swing, his old golf swing.
Right. It's just so frustrating because it's like, if I can see it on the TV, why can't you see it on the field? Like, you know what I mean?
Think
Like,
about it. Yeah, think about it. Top quarterbacks in the league, right? Rodgers, what, 6'2", 6'3"-ish. Mahomes, 6'3". Lamar Jackson, 6'2", 6'3". Like, what's his face up in Buffalo is like 6'5". Justin Herbert, 6'6". Like, the quarterbacks that are at the top of I can make any pass anywhere. It kills me because growing up as an athlete who's only 5'9", I hated that. I was like, bro, stop putting height as an emphasis.
Right.
But when you've got Mailata, who's like 6'9", you got Johnson, who's 6'6", you've got Dickerson, who's like 6 something, and then you've got Hurts at 5'10" or whatever height I think he's taller than that, but he feels like he's 5'10". I get there's a problem. Kyler Murray runs it all the time too. The reason Kyler Murray scrambles out of the pocket at almost every play is to see the field. That is a fact.
And he doesn't see Marvin Harrison at all.
No, Marvin Harrison blends in with the crowd because he's so open. He's like, well, that's got to be a sideline guy. That can't be an NFL player because there's nobody else around him. I don't know who wears their helmet on the sideline.
How long did you guys sit and watch Monday Night Game where they talked to Kyle Murray at the end of the game?
I didn't.
Yeah, you should go listen to him talk. It's not great. There's something loose. Something's loose.
You know what happens this weekend?
What's
Call
that?
of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Oh, is that true?
Yes,
sir.
it is. I started to download myself. Guess who?
He just had
a great game.
He just had one of the Twitch Call of Duty peoples on the sideline. The other day,
really?
shaking hands and giving autograph too.
Oh wow! I wonder if his kick is going to change now because he's my quarterback. Besides Sam Darnold, he's my backup quarterback.
Oh, you should play him next time you play me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you might want to have started Sam Darnold.
I started this week. I started Sam Darnold this
might
week.
have been a good call because I have a feeling that this week might be bad. Who is Arizona playing this week? Because they probably ain't gonna go.
They're playing. It was just up on the TV. I just saw it.
Yeah, I just saw it on the fucking
Tennessee. Are they playing Tennessee?
Oh well, he might do well this week then.
No, I don't think it's Tennessee.
Yeah, it's somebody. It's
the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah, the Dolphins.
Tua's coming back this week.
Yeah.
If Tua's healthy, that game should be a blowout. Honestly, like I don't know if he is. I started Achane for the first time in a week, so it's like, hey, if Tua's playing, he should be able to run the ball again.
I mean, the Cardinals are the underdogs, so I don't know.
I mean, hey, maybe he stays off Call of Duty for one weekend to prove that he's not, and then he falls off. But all I know is that the season for Marvin Harrison is effectively over.
Yeah. So I had Sam Darnold put up 18 points. Not too bad.
Yeah, I didn't start him in one of my leagues over Bo Nix because every league has Bo Nix projected over 20 points. I know he's playing Carolina, but I'm like, really? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it.
Who said Bo Nix was going to be Rookie of the Year this year? By the way,
I don't know.
We did. We said that.
It still should probably be Jaden Daniels, especially if he comes back. But
yeah, he's not hurt.
I think Caleb Williams will get it.
Jalen Daniels getting hurt.
Jalen Williams will look good.
Jalen Daniels getting hurt with his ribs is kind of like, well, he's a little guy. He's going to get hurt. I think it's going to be.
What I'm going to say right now is looking at the list right now of rookies. Jaden Daniels is still my number one. Malik Neighbors is number two because Malik Neighbors, besides against us, has been amazing. And I think Nix is quietly earned himself up to a 3. I kind of backed off on it after the first week. Like, yo, I was wrong, but I was right though. I said Peyton's going to make that offense to fit him because he knows what he can do.
Yeah,
they're doing all right. And do you know what's weird about the Broncos?
They run the ball too.
They run the ball a lot, guys.
They run the ball too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. He got no receptions last week.
No, how many yards does Javonte Williams have?
Javonte Williams got me 28 points. I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Hey, Sutton was on.
You
was out there.
Bench Javonte this week.
Why?
I'm playing you.
No, I'm good. Matter of fact, I'm mad that you checked yours because you had two starters not in.
every Thursday at least I try.
Yeah, man. Boys, another good one. Enjoying it. I'm glad we enjoyed talking to you guys.
Same.
Have a good one, guys.
Enjoy
You
your
know how we do.
nights.
You already know how we do. EAGLES.
Eagles, let's go, birds.
Go birds. Hey, Mike,
Hit it.
hit some jungle music. Let's get to the jungle.